This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Seafood tariffs. Nova Scotia producers brace for a double threat to their livelihoods.
Healthcare hurdles. This woman is speaking out about her struggle to get a cancer diagnosis.
And Gaelic football, how the sport is enjoying a resurgence in Halifax.
Periods of rain and mild temperatures overnight into Tuesday. Then temperatures tumble with a mix of freezing rain in the north. Your full forecast is coming up.
The threat of American tariffs continues to remain uncertain, but they loom large for many industries in Nova Scotia. Meanwhile, what is certain, China is set to hit Canadian seafood with a 25% tariff beginning this Thursday.
The CBC's Kayla Hounsell checks the mood of an industry that's facing down a double-barreled threat and scrambling for solutions.
This crew is racing time to get lobster from sea to sky on a flight to China before the industry is facing tariffs on top of tariffs.
This is the rush to the market this week.
This shipment may be the last to make it out before China slaps an additional 25% tariff on Canadian seafood. It comes in the midst of the on-again, off-again trade war with the U.S., and it means Canada's top two markets are posing a problem at the same time.
It's a bit perplexing, it's troubling.
The Chinese tariffs on seafood set to take effect March 20th are retaliation for Ottawa's levies last fall on Chinese electric vehicles and metals.
Will they accept a price increase? It's a very price-sensitive market at the best of times. We work hard to diversify, but it's difficult when demand is so strong in two countries.
The new Chinese tariffs are not just on lobster, but on a long list of Canadian seafood, including crab, shrimp, and halibut. 83% of all seafood exported from this country goes to the U.S. and China. That means by April 2nd, 83% could be tariffed.
It's just upended the entire marketplace.
Former Nova Scotia Premier Stephen McNeil has been advising the Prime Minister on U.S. tariffs, and when he was Premier, he made trade with China a focus.
Our customer was dictating the price, which was the United States. So I broadened our reach.
McNeil says the industry needs to further diversify. Lamont says he thinks the Chinese tariff will stick.
I think this tariff is coming, and we will be obliged to cope with it.
And how will you do that?
There will be undoubtedly new price points for Canadian lobster in the weeks to come.
He's hopeful China will remain hungry for Canadian lobster, but also notes anything that hurts fishermen could also hurt those packing the planes and the wider regional economy. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Halifax.
The Seafood Expo North America in Boston is all about trade talks and moving money. But the stakes are high for Atlantic Canadians with those looming tariffs. The CBC's Layla Baudouin reports from Boston.
It's all about the ocean and the seafood that comes with it, with the world's buyers and sellers all under one roof. And for Canadians, it's very intense as these negotiations and trade meetings continue. We heard from Bernadette Jordan, who said, look, we are in this together. That's Canada's representative here in Boston, speaking to the delicate relationship at risk here.
It's going to be significant. You know, New England gets an awful lot of its energy from Canada. They get their gas in their cars from Canada. They get their home heating. They get their malt and barley for craft beer. You know, there's an awful lot of trade between the two countries, and it is going to impact consumers.
Think about it. Fish caught in Newfoundland and Labrador or in Nova Scotia sold to the U.S. and then back to us. So they're working together, those relationships at the heart of these discussions.
So right behind you here, this is Sambro, just outside of Halifax. We have a fish plant there. The lifeblood of the community is the seafood business. We purchase directly from harvesters. We employ about 25 to 30 people in different times of the year. And yeah, I mean, this show is very important because it's for a chance for us to meet customers that for the most part we speak to on the phone all year. What we think will happen is it will impact the margins that processors, dealers, and everybody involved are making, and then frankly the harvester. And if we're selling something for $10 and they're and returning them a short price based on that sale price, that's not a good price anymore, because we're getting a $2.50 tariff right off the top.
So it's clear no matter what happens next, Canadians, particularly Atlantic Canadians, are bracing for impact. Layla Baudouin, CBC News, Boston.
Nova Scotians voiced their concerns Monday over a bill proposed by the government that they say threatens access to information and violates the right of the civil service. The bill includes amendments that would allow the government to fire the Auditor General and non-unionized bureaucrats without cause.
As many Nova Scotians do not know who is actually the brainchild of Bill 1, whether by committee or arbitrarily by the Premier. But this is a wrecking ball that appears to be out of control, doing demolition to fundamental rights, to freedoms, democratic principles, and checks and balances on government abuse of power.
Premier Tim Houston has pledged to drop the amendments that affect the Auditor General, but the government has not made those specific changes public.
RCMP say Northside Westmount MLA Fred Tilley is not facing charges after an investigation last fall. Tilley came under fire last October when he crossed the floor of the legislature, leaving the Liberal Party to become a progressive conservative. The Liberals claimed Tilley had taken private voter information from the party's database. They complained to Elections Nova Scotia and the RCMP, who said Monday that their investigation ended without charges.
After decades of tolls, you no longer have to pay to cross the bridges over Halifax Harbour. Traffic flowed freely Monday with the toll booths removed. The McDonald Bridge was closed over the weekend so crews could dismantle the booths and concrete barriers. During the Nova Scotia election campaign last fall, the Progressive Conservatives promised to remove the tolls, which have been in place for 70 years. And with now the weather details, Ryan Snoddon from the Weather Center.
And some warm weather today.
Yeah, very warm. In fact, 20 degrees in the Annapolis Valley today. We actually hit 20 yesterday in parts of Cape Breton and 20 again today in Inverness. And you can see temperatures very mild in north-facing areas away from that onshore flow, which is, of course, coming in from the south. So the Atlantic coastline a wee bit cooler, but still mild across the board. Into the teens through this evening, and then as we move through the overnight, we're going to be watching that rain. Western areas up towards Cumberland County, the Valley, Digby, Yarmouth. This is going to be the bullseye with this rain as it works through overnight into Tuesday. That rain will spread eastward, and note temperatures tumbling on Tuesday as the winds kick in from the north. They'll go from south to north throughout the morning. Freezing rain setting up Cumberland County into Colchester. Late day into Pictou and Antigonish as well, and this will all slowly clear out through Tuesday night. Your 7-day coming up.
Stay tuned for that. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
A 58-year-old mother and wife is speaking out after having to track down her breast cancer diagnosis. Kathy Crosscarry doesn't have a family doctor and says that led to barriers getting into the system. Allie Thompson has the story.
Because if I had kept going, no news is good news, where would I be?
Kathy Crosscarry worries about what would have happened had she not followed up on a biopsy of her right breast. The 58-year-old mother and wife doesn't have a family doctor and says she was met with roadblocks trying to get a mammogram after she felt a lump last September. She tried a walk-in clinic twice, but it was at Virtual Care Nova Scotia. But twice her session timed out without seeing a doctor. Eventually she went to an emergency room, but the doctor there said they weren't able to refer her and to contact a women's clinic in Bedford. She finally got a referral from the women's clinic, which led to a second mammogram, ultrasound, and a biopsy at the IWK. The results of the biopsy were expected within a few weeks, but after 5 weeks, she was still in the dark.
And I even was texting that to my girlfriend, and as I was texting that, I literally felt like slapping myself across the face going, "What are you doing?" If that was her texting that to you, you would be screaming at her. So it was literally like I slapped myself in the face and said, "No, you can't take this as no news is good news. You need to call." And I thought, I don't even know who to call now.
She ended up calling the women's clinic that originally referred her, and they were able to track down her diagnosis. Her nightmare was confirmed. She has invasive carcinoma.
But this didn't need to happen. It just didn't need to happen. There's a break in communication somewhere along the line that, where's the person with the big red stamp that says positive cancer diagnosis? Pass this to a person that's going to do something about it. Where did that go? Where did my results go?
The IWK declined an interview, but in a statement it said the referring doctor is responsible for follow-up and sharing results. Nova Scotia Health's Dr. Aaron Smith says the province is working hard to connect more Nova Scotians with primary care physicians, but challenges remain. He says a number of recruitment efforts are underway, and Nova Scotians without a family doctor have options for accessing primary care, including Virtual Care Nova Scotia and primary care clinics. Smith also said emergency room doctors can't refer patients for things like mammograms because they are not able to follow them through the process.
Because we need to make sure we're getting better every day in terms of folks' access to the care they need when they need it at the right time, the right place.
Nope.
Cross Carey had a successful lumpectomy just a few weeks after receiving her results, but may require more treatment. She says she wanted to speak out in the hopes of preventing another mishap.
So I just forgive the errors that have been made. Let's just move on. I want to replace that anger with positivity about this, that hopefully this will make a difference for somebody else.
Ali Thompson, CBC News, Middle Sackville.
Another emergency department in HRM is getting metal detectors to prevent weapons from entering the hospital. Security at the ER at the Dartmouth General Hospital will now be scanning visitors with handheld metal detectors. Walk-through metal detectors are already in place at the Halifax Infirmary Emergency Department's main entrance.
On this St. Patrick's Day, the Irish sports of Gaelic football and hurling are enjoying a resurgence in Halifax. Male and female players are preparing to represent the region in 2 tournaments later this year. And as Gareth Hampshire explains, the Halifax Gaels team is also hoping to start a local league.
These are the players trying to grow the traditional Irish sports of Gaelic football and hurling in Halifax.
This is ingrained in our DNA. It's a huge part of Irish culture.
These unique games are believed to date back hundreds of years. Gaelic football has similarities to soccer and rugby with some skills from basketball. The objective is to score into the goal for 3 points or get the ball over the top between the posts for 1 point. Hurling follows similar rules but looks a bit more like lacrosse, although the stick or hurley does not have any netting.
It's just a really interesting combination of sports, so even no matter what sport you've come from, there's going to be some familiar parts but also some new parts, so it's a good challenge.
You learn this from when you're a kid. It's like hockey here. You grow up with that, starting from under 4s all the way up to like senior level.
A number of members of the Halifax Gaels are playing because they want to be part of a club that connects them to their Irish roots.
Growing up, we always used to go to Ireland every year, and so that's where I learned about the sport. So when I found out there was a team here in Halifax, I wanted to get involved and try my foot at playing.
As the only team in Atlantic Canada, competitive games are hard to come by. So the group's hoping to recruit more members to build an actual league in Halifax.
The closest team to us is Quebec City, so that's a good distance away for us. So the only time we get to play competitively is when we travel as a team.
The membership has grown to about 30 players, and a few more would be enough to begin a league.
With 40 players, we're hoping for 3 or 4 teams. Obviously, the more teams we have, the more games we can play and the more competitive we can get.
While trying to build the league, they're also continuing to train in preparation for 2 tournaments coming up in Montreal. And they're also dreaming of sending players to represent Canada at the World Games in Ireland next year. Gareth Hampshire, CBC News, Halifax.
And this was the scene in downtown Halifax this morning as hundreds of people lined up for early morning pints and Irish breakfast to celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Well, the line started forming around 4:30 a.m., more than 2 hours before the pub doors opened. The pub started serving breakfast at 7 a.m. and bartenders poured countless pints of Guinness.
I bet everyone left happy too.
I think so. And there's a beautiful spot, Black Rock Beach on a mild day. Ryan's up next with his weather.
All right, well, around St. Patrick's Day, there's lots of years where you'll get some kind of nasty weather, the tail ends of winter in Nova Scotia, but not so much this year.
Not winter, but still very soggy and messy.
Nasty in its own right.
Yeah.
Mostly rain, but some freezing rain mixing in over northern areas Tuesday afternoon, into Tuesday evening. We won't get off scot-free here. Also have to address the elephant in the room. I am not wearing green.
Didn't notice, Ryan.
And you can't.
I can't. As I walk over to the weather center, I would just be a
The
floating
green
head.
screen.
So yes.
And it's your favorite color.
It is. It's a tragedy for sure.
You're with us in spirit, Ryan.
True. I am, definitely. And there's green on the weather map as we look at this rainfall warning. And yes, nice bright green there. Now, Yarmouth, Digby, the Valley into Cumberland County, all under a rainfall warning in green. And yes, Colchester County and under the special weather statement, that is for the freezing rain. Cumberland County is also under that special weather statement. So the freezing rain going to be an issue there. Have a look at the rainfall outlook. This is for tonight And for Tuesday and into Tuesday night for Cape Breton, it'll linger there a little bit longer. But this is, again, going to be the bullseye under that rainfall warning, 30 to as much as 50 millimeters of rain here. So that's going to be the bullseye. And then this area in yellow, we're looking at 20 to as much as 30 millimeters of rain, and then amounts will taper off towards the east. And as we look at the setup here, certainly drizzle, some showers working their way in to Nova Scotia already, but the heaviest rain streaming up and along this front with all the mild air. And in case you missed it earlier, 20 degrees in the Annapolis Valley today, as well as Inverness County. So very, very mild. It's going to stay mild overnight tonight, and then we'll cool down. And then we are going to be looking at some milder air pushing back in as we work our way into the first day of spring. Have a look at temperatures across North America right now. And again, an active weekend with so many tornadoes, a tragic weekend in the U.S. South with some very active weather. And that is the same system that is now rolling in for us. Now, no tornadoes tonight, but we are going to be looking at, thankfully, we are going to be looking at those heavy amounts of rain at times coming down at a good clip. And that will continue into Tuesday morning. So, tricky travel conditions for sure tomorrow morning, the Tri-County area up into northwestern parts of the province with that heavy rain coming down. And note those temperatures very mild to start the day and then tumbling throughout the day. Those temperatures will fall. Amherst to the freezing mark early to mid-morning. Freezing rain underway there. Then through the Cobequid Pass into the Colchester area, Pictou, Antigonish County by late afternoon, starting to see that mix over to some ice pellets, and then perhaps, looking at some freezing rain potentially there. Freezing rain, then over to ice pellets, then possibly a little bit of a flurry action. Note 9, 12, 13 degrees for Cape Breton. Temperatures won't start to tumble here until the late day. Similar story for the Eastern Shore, those temperatures falling late day. Antigonish, likely one of our hot spots tomorrow near 13 or 14 degrees. There are those temperatures that are going to be falling throughout the morning in through Colchester, Cumberland. Temperatures into the double digits, but falling throughout the afternoon for central areas and the valley. Again, temperatures falling. Looks like beginning in the morning and then to the freezing mark by the end of the afternoon into the double digits for southern areas with those winds becoming northerly. Wednesday, it's all about the wind, especially when it's from the northeast this time of year. So temperatures anywhere from 1 to 5 degrees in the northeast. And then we'll be looking at temperatures in the 7 to 10, 11. Could even see some 12 and 13 degree temperatures here in the Tri-County area on Wednesday. And again, it's all thanks to that northerly flow. And then for the first day of spring, high pressure off to the east, a bit of an east to southeast flow on Thursday. So the Atlantic coastline again will be coolest on Thursday. Looks like we should crack some double digits on Thursday in through northern areas. Some showers in the mix for Friday and into the Saturday time frame. We'll see some showers mixed with some flurries again. So yeah, that's the forecast now. And again, this is why we can't do green on St. Patrick's Day, Tom.
Oh, that would have been very
Save
entertaining.
it for Halloween,
that would
yeah.
have been great. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan.
Thanks,
Take care.
Ryan.
Coming up, meet the Nova Scotia woman traveling the world to make a name for herself as an opera singer.
Welcome back. It is a long way from New Glasgow to the Netherlands, but that's the journey Shanice Skinner has taken to follow her dreams.
She's making a name for herself. At a recent event in Halifax, her talent was on full display. The CBC's Elizabeth Chu introduces us tonight to Shanice Skinner.
It was something that had my heart from the beginning. I just became completely absorbed by all of the composers, the music, the text. I love to use my voice to express, to share emotions, to share stories with people, to share messages. My name is Shanice Skinner. I am an opera singer, originally from New Glasgow, Nova Scotia, and now I live in the Netherlands. I started piano lessons when I was 6 years old and started voice lessons shortly after that. My journey has taken me to various places. I grew up here in New Glasgow and sang in choirs and did musical theater all of my life and performed in the yearly music festival, which still happens till this day. There are opportunities here in Canada, but Europe was sort of calling me in a way from when I was a young girl.
We are just so excited to be here this afternoon for 5 poets breaking into song. Number 16, the great chanteuse that we have in our company this afternoon is none other than the illimitable Shanice Skinner. Her great voice, which has been trained classically at the Royal Conservatory of The Hague, Netherlands.
I'm Dee Jackson, and I am a composer, pianist, jazz musician, educator, multiple hats, originally from Ottawa, Canada, but now living in Maplewood, New Jersey, outside of New York City. I was the composer, so George Eliot Clark would send me poems, and he would have me figure out from them which one I wanted to set, and I would set them. I think she's incredibly gifted. Even just being able to navigate the language of things that are not the thing that she's sort of formally being focused on doing, this very serious, operatic, concert hall sort of music. And so in this piece, she said, I think it was the first time she'd even really sung with a microphone, at least in recent years. She jokingly said that she sings pieces that are by dead composers, basically. And so it was such a pleasure, she said, to just have somebody write something, somebody who, like myself, who's alive, at least as of now.
I'm George Eliot Clark. I'm a poet. I'm a scholar. I admire the divas.
I feel so tired and weary.
Portia White, who was my late great aunt. I'm her great nephew, not yet late, but her great nephew.
Oh, sweet chariot.
Misha Brooker-Gossman Lee and her star.
Come for to carry me on.
I see Shanice as being the heir of those Afro-Maritime Dessouche women, gifted with great voices and able to do all kinds of music.
There are parts of it that feel like a fairy tale. I mean, I know my mom could never have imagined this life for herself as a young girl or for her daughter in the future. I don't think this would have ever crossed her mind, but I've even been able to broaden her horizons with traveling. I'm so into history and so into exploring the world that I have to bring her along and show her these things that inspire me as well.
What's it mean to you to be from New Glasgow, where Viola Desmond famously challenged racial segregation?
To see Viola's way, I feel very empowered to see a Black woman up there, people recognizing what she stood up for and knowing how important it is to continue the fight. Being able to see the mark Viola Desmond has made, it also empowers me to keep moving, to keep making space for myself, to showing up for myself in areas where people wouldn't expect to see me, to know that I have a place to express and that my voice matters as well.
Coming up, Europe trip. Prime Minister Mark Carney is on a mission to bolster relations overseas amid the U.S. trade war.
And beneath the ice, why a Canadian expedition to Antarctica is investigating below the ocean's surface. Welcome back. Canada's new Prime Minister is on his first international trip 3 days after taking office.
Mark Carney is looking to bolster relations with Europe amid the trade war with the U.S. The CBC's chief political correspondent, Rosemary Barden, has more from London.
The first stop on his first official trip came at the request of Canada's Prime Minister. Notre Dame Cathedral rebuilt from the ashes, a symbol of resilience. And resilience is exactly what Mark Carney is trying to build in the face of economic and territorial threats coming from the U.S. And so a return to Canada's European allies. Prime Minister Carney said he was not seeking for them to stand up for Canada, but some support still came. French President Emmanuel Macron denounced tariffs and encouraged free trade.
Parce que nous avons la conviction, et je crois que nous l'avons en commun, que nous sommes plus forts ensemble.
We are better when we are together, he said, better able to ensure our respected interests and our sovereignty. Macron's words were supportive but careful. He, like other world leaders, walking a fine line to not raise the ire of the U.S. president.
Canada is a reliable, trustworthy, and strong partner of France, which shares our values and lives them through action during this age of economic and geopolitical crises.
That's a great treat.
The King, who has been under some pressure to publicly defend Canada, offered no such change in his position. And the British Prime Minister, too, has been criticized for not saying more about Canada.
The relationship between our two countries has always been strong, to sovereign allies.
The Prime Minister says he does have the support of Canada's allies.
Look, I don't think one needs to respond to every comment about another country. Look, we can stand up for ourselves.
This trip was also intended to send a signal to the United States. No longer a trusted ally, Canada can find friends elsewhere. But the Prime Minister still needs to speak to Donald Trump, and we're told that could happen as early as this week. Rosemary Barton, CBC News, London.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says that if elected, his government would cut the industrial carbon tax. He says it would make Canadian products more competitive. But experts warn the country would then have no chance of hitting emission targets. The CBC's Kate McKenna has the details.
Pierre Poilievre says if he's elected, all carbon pricing is on the chopping block.
Today I am announcing that a common sense, Canada First Conservative government will repeal the entire carbon tax, including the federal backstop that requires provinces impose industrial taxes.
On Friday, Prime Minister Mark Carney said he'd kill the consumer carbon price. Now Poilievre says he'd get rid of the industrial price too.
There will be no taxes on consumers, no taxes on Canadian industries.
Most provinces have their own systems. Poilievre says they can keep them if they want. He also says he would expand eligibility for tax credits aimed at clean technology.
While the Liberals tax businesses who use energy, Conservatives will cut taxes and boost incentives for those who bring down emissions. Carrot, not stick.
But the Canadian Climate Institute says industrial carbon pricing is the biggest driver for reducing emissions.
If we got rid of the industrial carbon price today, our emissions would rise the equivalent of about 15 million cars. So yeah, we're not going to hit our targets if all the provinces and the feds get rid of it.
I would say it's bad economic policy for Canada. It's terrible environmental policy. I mean, it basically says let the big polluters pay, not pay. That they can actually pollute for free. And if you actually believe in climate change, it is important for us to actually take action. This is one of the key levers to do that.
Some business experts welcome the idea of more tax incentives.
The more predictability we have and the more incentives we have is a good thing. But of course, it's all about the details.
Poilievre says his plan would make business more competitive, but it could have long-term consequences. European countries are planning a tariff on nations that don't have carbon pricing, meaning companies could be forced to pay a carbon tax, but to a foreign government, not our own. Kate McKenna, CBC News, Ottawa.
Turning to the Middle East, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is attempting to fire the head of the country's internal security service. He says there is a growing distrust in their relationship. But as the CBC's Crystal Gabansing reports, Netanyahu's critics are pushing back.
Israeli opposition leaders are uniting in an effort to keep the director of Shin Bet Ronen Bar in his position. They say they are willing to petition the High Court to keep the prime minister from acting on his wishes to remove him as the director. Late Sunday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that he had lost trust in Bar and that in order for Israel to achieve its war goals and potentially prevent a future tragedy, he had to go. go. Now, this isn't the first time that he's tried to push Barr out of his current role. Last week, he tried to get him to resign, but Barr rejected that, saying in local media reports that he would leave once all of the hostages were returned and sensitive investigations that he was leading were wrapped up. Now, Israel's Attorney General has put a pause on this, rejecting the proposal by the Prime Minister, saying there needs to be a full legal review of the basis for the dismissal. When news about this potential move started to trickle out, those at a rally in Tel Aviv out in front of the Ministry of Defense headquarters rejected it, saying it would put the hostages at further risk.
He's going against all the administration of the security of Israel. And it's going to harm the negotiation to release all the hostages.
I believe that Ofer, my cousin, is back home because of Ronen Bar as well. So it's not the time to do it. We are in a really critical days.
Barr used to be on the hostage negotiating team, but was removed from that post. There are expected to be protests on Wednesday when Netanyahu brings this matter up with his cabinet. Crystal Gamansing, CBC News, Jerusalem.
U.S. President Donald Trump is defending the deportation of hundreds of Venezuelans over the weekend, despite a court order barring the removals. His administration is also calling into question presidential pardons granted by Joe Biden. The CBC's Richard Madden has the details from Washington.
The Trump administration is denying it ignored a federal court ruling that temporarily halted the deportation of nearly 300 alleged Venezuelan gang members from the U.S. Now, this all happened late Saturday when a federal judge blocked the deportation flights to review due process. But justice officials said the planes were already in the air, adding the judge doesn't have jurisdiction over international airspace. Now, using a rare 18th century law called the Alien Enemies Act, the administration argues gives extra powers to remove unauthorized migrants with little or no due process.
This administration acted within the confines of the law, again, within the president's constitutional authority and under the authority granted to him under the Alien Enemies Act. We are quite confident in that, and we are wholly confident that we are going to win this case in court.
So if the judge rules the administration did break the law, the bigger question is, what can he do about it? What are the consequences? The DOJ is supposed to be independent of the executive, but is clearly under Trump's control. And this is one of several major tests for the judiciary this week alone. Trump is also pushing the courts to invalidate several of former President Joe Biden's preemptive pardons in his final days in office. Trump says Biden used an automatic signature pen to preemptively pardon those who served on the January 6th committee. Trump accuses him of not knowing what he signed. Now, Biden preemptively pardoned lawmakers who investigated Trump's role in the January 6th Capitol riots, but it also included other targets of Trump and his base, including Trump's former Joint Chief of Staff in the military and even Dr. Anthony Fauci, who criticized Trump's handling of the pandemic. Now, Biden's use of a signature pen for these pardons hasn't been verified, but the White House is pushing it anyway.
Did the president even know about these pardons? Was his legal signature used without his consent or knowledge?
All this is setting up more showdowns between the White House and the courts, further testing the limits of presidential powers and the independence of the branches of government. Richard Madden, CBC News, Washington.
A Canadian expedition is trying to get a sense of what's happening below the ocean's surface in the Antarctic. They're investigating the impact of freshwater glaciers melting into the sea as the continent warms. Susan Ormiston was there to see the team from New Brunswick at work.
No one ready there, Gordon.
Correct to the bridge. You have permission to launch the USV when ready, over.
Science at Sea is a heart-pumping project.
Get that hook up.
With the Navy crew trying to launch Kevin Wilcox's remote-controlled boat.
Once we get free, we'll take her back.
But our boat gets too close to the bow.
Whoa!
Sorry about that. We were getting right underneath the transom. I didn't want anybody's head getting hit.
The unmanned surface vehicle is part of the University of New Brunswick's Ocean Mapping Group. It even has a mascot, Pingachu.
So ping like a sonar. The most important is the sonar that's underneath. And so that essentially sends a pulse of sound down to the seafloor.
100 times a minute, creating a picture of the bottom of the sea.
So we have a map over here that has data that's been collected from other groups. So I'm essentially going to be driving the USV back and forth and essentially painting in this area of the seafloor.
As the Antarctic warms and the glaciers dump more fresh water into the salty seawater, scientists want to know what happens to ocean life. This work fits into a bigger picture. Only about 25% of the world's oceans are mapped, and there's a push on to get it all done. But as you can see, it's incremental and challenging. On shore, it may not look like much, but this connects to an undersea cable, part of an observatory which reads the ocean's vitals, temperature, pressure, and salinity every day.
And so that was put in by Ocean Networks Canada in a collaboration with the Spanish for this location.
The Yellow Explorer is working away. The seabed map is starting to fill in, but suddenly, trouble.
Surprisingly, there's kelp here, which...
Who knew?
Yeah, exactly. And so that got caught up in my motors, essentially. And we've cleared that, but unfortunately, they're still not responding.
Attempts to fix it fail. So it's back to Mothership to triage the problem. And he still has to get his vehicle back on board the Margaret Brooke.
Okay, heads up in the boat.
USV is clear of the water.
Safely stored. Turns out it was just a fuse. He's relieved.
All the challenges, I'd do it all over again.
Susan Ormiston, CBC News, Espanola Cove, Antarctica.
Athletes from across Canada spent this weekend in Calgary, taking part in a qualifying tournament for a rather unconventional sport. Here's a hint. It involves chainmail and swords. CBC's Brendan Coulter was on hand to take in the action.
Heavy metal swords crashed against helmets and shields at the Medieval Combat Team Canada qualifying tournament, with a trip to the World Championships in Houston, Texas on the line.
It gets pretty intense. I mean, if there's any time to empty that gas tank, it's now. And these guys are doing it. A lot of these guys are already exhausted, but they'll dig deep and they'll find something to make sure they get that spot on Team Canada today.
About 57 fighters showed up from places like Yukon and Saskatchewan. Samantha Julie made the trip from Vancouver Island.
The adrenaline rush is crazy. It's like hardcore butterflies, but it's so much fun. I love the sport. It's basically my life right now, besides my kids and my family, yeah.
Her brother Lucas Mendez captains the national team. He won Canada's first ever medal at the World Championships in 2023.
When you put that helmet on and it's just you and your opponent, it's hard to explain. It's just a completely different feeling, and it's a huge rush, especially when you start winning and you start going places.
And with more and more Canadians taking up the sport, it's getting harder to win battles and crack the national team roster.
I've been doing this 11 years. I have seen it go from a bunch of nerds in a park to now competing at Worlds with 35 official fighters, right? So, I mean, over the years, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Ames says a lot of the best fighters are coming out of the U.S., but that's slowly changing, and Canadians are starting to become serious contenders on the world stage. Brendan Coulter, CBC News, Calgary.
Who knew? All right, the Persian New Year, known as Nowruz, is days away, and Canadian Iranians across the country are preparing to welcome the new beginning with gifts, food, and good cheer.
The CBC's Michelle Gomez checked out how one community in British Columbia is getting ready.
Live entertainment, local artisans, and traditional Persian treats. Hundreds packing into this community center in Port Coquitlam Sunday ahead of Nowruz.
Vendors that they are bringing some stuff or products that Iranians need for celebrating the Nowruz.
Nowruz marks the beginning of spring and the new year. It's celebrated at the vernal equinox when day and night are equal length.
It's a special day for every Farsi speakers, for Muslim peoples, and I love it.
And it's not only about celebrating a new year, but also reflecting on the past year.
I want to start with freshness, with, good spiritual. So it's a start of the new life for me.
An important part of Nowruz is the Hafsin table.
Each of the items that you see here it has a meaning for Iranian.
7 specific items are set out as symbols of health, prosperity, and happiness. And at the center of the celebration, food.
This one is called gas. So the gas is like a gelatin or cafe, and you are tasted on it. It's stretching on your teeth, yeah. But the flavor is so good, I believe everybody likes that.
It's one of the famous dish in Iran. It's called korme sabzi, and it's a lot of herbs and dried lemon, kidney beans.
Market-goers also being treated to a colorful and comical performance. The festivities will continue until Thursday, when Persians will officially ring in the new year.
Happy Nowruz!
Michelle Gomez, CBC News, Port Coquitlam.
Strength in energy, financials, and base metals helped Canada's main stock index gain more than 200 points today, while U.S. markets also rose. Here's a look at where things closed as we head to commercial break. Yeah, things drying up out there, to say the least.
Yeah.
And then they're going to get wet again, though.
Yeah.
We need the water, though.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We need the rain, and we'll take it because, that Canadian drought monitor still in the moderate drought to abnormally dry range across most of the Maritime. So these shots do help. And again, I'm sure the crocuses will like a drink.
Let's see.
More popping up here. This one from Upper LaHave, just outside of Lunenburg, and you can see.
Bright, aren't they?
Yeah.
We had purple last week.
We did.
Yellow,
Purple
yellow
on
today.
Friday, yellow on Monday. Love that. Peter Thompson, thank you so much for sharing this. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. Okay, so pretty quiet out there right now, mild, and then we're looking at the showers, the drizzle, the fog patches, and those heavier periods of rain arriving overnight into early Tuesday for western areas. That's where the rain will be heaviest throughout the day. It will wander eastward, kind of filling in for everybody. And note that those temperatures dropping to the freezing mark in the northeast. That's where we'll have that risk for some freezing rain. Primarily Cumberland, but Colchester, Pictou, Antigonish, and Inverness County, also with the risk for some freezing rain, as well as Kings, back towards Wolfville and Kentville, even perhaps as far west as Middleton and Greenwood. We will be looking at that chance for freezing rain overnight all across Cape Breton and the eastern parts of the mainland. And then we're going to be looking at things kind of quietening down for Wednesday. We'll clear out into Wednesday afternoon. Still that northeast flow will keep things a bit cool on Wednesday in the northeast, but we'll be into the double digits and through the western areas of the province. So a bit of a split there. That area of high pressure will then kind of still be in control, but I think a bit of a east to southeast flow on Thursday, keeping temperatures a bit cooler along the Atlantic coastline as we welcome spring. Another system to keep an eye on for Friday, which looks set to clear throughout Saturday.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. One last reminder before we go. It is St. Patrick's Day, and arguably no one celebrates the patron saint of Ireland quite like the Irish do.
It's great to see people of all different corners of the world getting together, celebrating Irish culture and being in Dublin all together. Nothing beats it.
Four-leaf clovers, leprechauns, and plenty of luck wove through the streets of Dublin as thousands gathered for the annual parade.
While the day marks the death of St. Patrick, it has evolved into a celebration of Irish culture and pride. But the tradition of St. Paddy's Day's parade didn't actually start in Dublin or in Ireland, for that matter.
The very first one was held by Irish immigrants across the pond in Boston in 1737.
There we go. Now we know the origins of it. That's it for us tonight. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.